Thanks for staying with us on the SportsMax Zone as we turn our attention now to football. It's already been a very busy summer of spending for a host of Premier League clubs as they continue to bolster their squads ahead of the upcoming 2025-26 English football top flight. We'll be having a look at the confirmed transfers for some of the league's top teams along with potential incomings and how they improve each squad. Here to help us dissect the summer splurging is our football analyst, Liz Williams, who joins us in studio. Liz, pleasure as always. I'm going to start off with a very simple question, right? Who's winning as far as this transfer market is concerned?
Well, I mean, the very simple answer to your very simple question, I would say, is Liverpool so far. Reason being, they are the reigning champions of the Premier League title, and they have strengthened significantly, in my opinion, albeit they have lost, I think, many may not see it this way, but I think the cornerstone of the biggest reason they've been this good, obviously many people would point to Mo Salah, and of course he is integral and in most estimations their best player, but I think their most important player, whether it be from their time under Jurgen Klopp even till now under Arne Slot, it has been Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's
really
impossible to replace, and I think they've done a relatively good job at trying to do that.
You said cornerstone though, Liz, aren't you? Isn't that's overstating it, isn't it?
No, because his importance to what they do in deep build-up, chance creation, practically everything that you need in a high-level football team, Trent is the reason why Liverpool are good at it.
But his liabilities, though, as far as defensively, his defensive output and what they were lacking on the right-hand side, that would have gone against him.
Well, I think if you were to ask any coach, player, analyst, where Liverpool's defensive woes were, it was on the left-hand side. So I think it's very much overstated Trent's defensive liabilities, and what he offers in possession significantly outweighs any of those threats of being defensively, being a defensive liability, because as I've said on numerous occasions, Trent Alexander-Arnold is the most, in football today, is the most devastating passer of a football.
All right, fine. Let's talk about Wirtz, because you've been touting this player for some time. He said he was world class, and that was...
I said he was a superstar.
Oh, superstar. Oh,
no, it's actually, I feel like that's bigger.
No, I think
it is bigger.
In your ranking, you say superstar is bigger than world class. But fine, he did say that he was world class, and we're having a debate on our Champions League set. Anyway, he's now with Liverpool, and how are you looking forward to him in this physical English Premier League?
Well, I mean, first of all, because I'm not quite sure how many more times I'll get a chance to say it. Hey, Brent. Around a year and a half ago, I said that, you're right, I did say that Florian Wirtz is a superstar. And, you know, Brent, rightfully so, in his estimation, was saying that he hasn't really done it on the biggest stages. He hasn't done it here or there. Now he's the most expensive player in British football's history, and for very good reason, to answer your question, because he's one of the best creators in world football. What he does inside the pockets, his intelligence. I think he is also, now that Toni Kroos has retired, the best German footballer on the planet as well. So I think the price is very much warranted, and what he can add to Liverpool, many people think that he will play in an attacking midfield role. I'm actually fancying him in a new Liverpool system, playing as an inside forward on the left of a front three with a striker at the tip, Mo Salah on the right, and now because they have brought in Kirkes and Frimpong, two wing-backs that do most of their work on the overlap. I think that will be the new front five for Liverpool going forward. And I think it sets a very dangerous precedent, because Mo Salah creating in one half space, and probably one of the best other half space players in the world in Florian Wirtz in that left-hand pocket, Liverpool are going to be very frightening.
Let's talk about your club quickly, Arsenal. I mean, I guess tongues are wagging in terms of what you could be getting in the immediate future, because you've always wanted that striker, and Victor Gyökeres is on the market, and maybe you'll be getting him shortly.
Once again, I'm very glad that I'm here to talk about this. I'm going to say it now, as you did mention, I am an Arsenal fan. I'll try and say this quickly. I'm going to support most players that don the shirt, but Victor Gyökeres is not Arsenal quality. I'm actually very disappointed that the team are heading in that direction in terms of their number 9. Will he come and score goals? Yes. But Arsenal's system is so good that we saw even Mikel Merino score a handful of goals while playing as a number 9. I don't doubt that Gyökeres will score goals, but is he a ceiling raiser? I don't think so. Is he a better number 9 option for the totality of the team than Kai Havertz? I also don't think so. So while I do think that he's going to come and score goals, and even though there aren't a huge number of striker options on the market, I'm still very disappointed they've gone for that one.
Yeah, what about my team, Manchester City? How are we looking? How are we looking this season? Because last season was not the type of season we wanted. We lost a couple players as well. So do we look like we can beat Arsenal this season?
Well, I mean, Liverpool is a team to beat, but I realize where your mind is. But
Arsenal always comes second, so just wondering if they'll be second again.
Well, if you want to come second, I guess that's where your mind should be. But I think Man City have done some very good recruitment this year. I'm huge on profiling of players. I think Aït-Nouri gives Man City something they haven't had before in an overlapping left fullback. All of Man City's left fullbacks have tended to invert or just be deeper centre-back options. Tijani Reinders is, I think many people will see in short order, one of the best all-action central midfielders in the world, and he's a perfect replacement eventually for Ilkay Gundogan. And Ryan Cherky is just one of those players, you know, if you're a fan of football and you just like seeing football in its purest state, you know, I can say it, we have a lot of Caribbean viewers, a lot of Jamaican viewers. You see, when a man is just a baller, Ryan Cherky is a baller. Like, I can't explain. Obviously, he's fantastic in terms of chance creation and everything he does statistically. But when you just watch Ryan Cherky play football, you're just looking at it saying, there's been a couple times, even in the Club World Cup, he played a pass for Foden in the game Man City got knocked out in against Al Hilal. I'm like, am I watching Messi right now? Cherky is a ridiculous talent, and I think he is a type of signing alongside someone like Wirtz that's a ceiling raiser for a team.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you don't have too much time for Chelsea as one of your London rivals, as a Gunners fan.
Yeah.
But among their signings is this young player with Barbadian roots, Jamie Gittins, coming from Borussia Dortmund. How good is he, and how do you feel about Chelsea's signings? Because they've done so much of that in the past couple of years that people have lost track of Chelsea's business.
Yeah, I think I really like Jamie Gittins. I think he's a very exciting left-wing prospect. With that being said, Chelsea, the amount of money that they've spent, I still do think that especially their forward line is a bit underwhelming. João Pedro made a huge impact today in the Club World Cup, leading them to the final. Delap is a good striker prospect as well. I like him. It's not that I don't like the players that they're bringing in, but just for the amount of money they've spent, I still think their front line is a bit underwhelming. But I think Chelsea will continue to improve, seeing that they were the youngest team in the Premier League last season, and they still have a lot of quality. So the Premier League is going to be very, very, very tough in the upcoming season.
Yeah. Do you think they overachieved or underachieved last year when they finished fourth in the table? Because people had sort of written off Chelsea and lost track of what Chelsea were doing with regard to their roster. So I'm not sure how people assess their fourth place finish last year.
I mean, if you spend £1 billion on a squad, I assume that you're going to at least be a top 4 level club. And even though they were very young, as I said, I still do think that they were a very, very quality team and they'll continue to get better. So I wouldn't say they overperformed or underperformed. I think they were right where they should be, especially considering the talent in the league.
Yeah, but if you were suggesting a few minutes ago that they were a young squad, it is reasonable to think that with last season under their belt, they could get better this year.
Yeah, I do
this
think
season.
I definitely do think that they will.
Yeah.
Will it be enough to break into the top 3 considering the other teams? I'm not sure, but I think they themselves will be a better unit.
Yeah, we do enough time to speak about Matheus Cunha and him going to Manchester United, which is a very much Lance Whitaker's team. He decided to speak about Chelsea and ask questions about Chelsea, but we won't hold it against him. But that's all the time we have for this segment, Lish. Pleasure as always.
As always, Neil.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. Back with more after this, so stay with us.
And a shouting, oh Lord, thankful is you who give me health and strength.